Hey guys, Jessica here, and I'm going to be doing my first ever favorites video, and I'm going to be doing a 2015 favorites. And I know some of you guys are saying, but you just started in December. Well, I still was doing my makeup, duh. So I want to share my favorites with you guys, the things that I was using even off camera way before I came to see you guys. So without further ado, let's get started. So I'm going to try and kind of keep this in order as how you do things. I'm going to start with a little bit of skincare because these are things that are definitely important to me as I'm aging and I'm getting older. Not only do I find I want Botox right here because I look a little bit like a bulldog sometimes when I scrunch my face, but I know that I want to prevent further signs of aging and keep good care of my skin. I still do get a little bit of breakouts right along here, but not as much as I did in my teens. So I'm lucky that they're just small little bumps and not really big pustule acne things. So if you have skin like that, the stuff I use is probably not going to be for you as far as skincare goes, because I kind of have combination skin. I'm oily through here, a little bit oily here sometimes, but more in the summer. But as I'm aging, I'm getting a lot more dry on my skin. All right, so now that I've just yacked, let's talk about my first skincare item. It's the Boscia. Oh, I love this. It's the Luminizing Black Mask. And you put this on and it is jet black. I mean, literally, if you can see that right there. I do not want to put it on my hand because it is pretty messy. But you put it on your skin and you make a nice thick little layer across your face and let it set. And then you peel it off. You get to like peel it. Oh, and then you peel it off. So the fact that you get to peel it off, I don't know, I kind of find really fun. And I feel like I'm like pulling dirt out of my pores. So there's that one. And it's made with charcoal. So that's why it's black. It's a really good product. It does pull all the stuff out of the pores. And I just like the way it makes my skin feel afterwards. I only do this about once a week though. Next was a favorite that didn't come out until the end of the year, and I just found it in December actually. It's the Garnier Skin Micellar Cleansing Water, and basically they say that this micellar product that's in here attracts the dirt. So when you use a little cotton round, and I just use a couple cotton rounds, and then this is for like the lazy nights that I don't really want to fully cleanse my skin, or I don't have much on. Like if I've just put a BB cream on, not a BB cream, but a BB cream or a tinted moisturizer of some sort, this is perfect. And it's perfect for the morning time too, to just kind of refresh your skin. So anyway, I use this and it does take makeup off. However, if you have waterproof mascara on or a thick mascara, it doesn't come off that great without really rubbing. Someone did recommend that I use the one for waterproof makeup. I have not yet, but this one is the regular micellar water and it's awesome. And I've used other more expensive cleansing waters, but this one for $8, can't beat it. And then another skincare favorite that was just released about the middle of this year was by Beautyfit. It's the beautyiam Eye Control. It is so wonderful. So I want to show this to you guys. This is the packaging. And you just put a little bit on. It's for your under eye, so it helps with dark circles and with puffiness. So you just go ahead and put it on your eyes. It smells so good, but it's super thin. It's not a very thick cream. So if you have really dry under eyes, you want to pair up with something that's got a little bit more moisture in it. If you don't have really dry under eyes, this is great. It'll help reduce the dark circles. I tend to have dark circles and puffiness, especially that time of month, and this product is great. I use it every day and night, and I've seen a huge drastic change in my under eye puffiness and dark circles. Let's go ahead and move on to prepping the skin for your foundation. Obviously, primers are awesome, and which primer is the best for you, it just depends. Everybody's skin is different. I do have kind of a combination skin, and if I use something that's too oily, it'll just kind of still make the foundation kind of melt off me. So I need something that holds it on. I do absolutely love this Tarte Clean Slate Poreless Primer. It's very good. It's a great product to get rid of the pores, erase them, and it's not super oily, and it's also waterproof. So it helps get rid of the fine lines. It keeps the makeup on. It's great. It's probably my favorite one out of any of the ones that I've tried. Now, if I'm looking for just something pretty light, I really like this Smashbox water primer, and I'm almost out of this, and I can't find my big one that refills it, and I'm super sad. But I love buying these small ones. Again, at Sephora, they sell these little travel size ones, or like sample size, you know, when you go to check out and they have all that stuff at the front and it makes you stop and go, oh, what else do I need? You could find this there if you want to try it first before. I'm not going to say that it makes your makeup stay on all day, because it really doesn't. But I'll spray it on before I put on some BB cream. So if I go to work out or whatever, and yes, I wear makeup when I work out, don't judge me. I have to look at myself in the mirror, and I don't like to look at myself without a little bit of something on my face. Okay? Okay. So that's what I use to prime my skin. Everybody knows Nikki Tutorials shared this last year in 2015, the Nivea Men. And it is not a primer, but she used it as a primer, and it's, I have to say, hands down, probably the best thing I've ever tried. It's only $6 with tax in the state of Washington anyway. And I got the Sensitive Post-Shave Balm. It does smell a bit like a man, but it's not gonna leave you smelling like a man. At least I have been told I smell like a man after I put it on. But it does keep my makeup looking flawless all day long. I don't feel like it's falling down on me. I don't feel like I have to touch it up with the Laura Mercier powder. It's awesome. And look how big this is. I mean, really, it's huge. So for $6, try it, and you can get the one for sensitive skin, like I have this one, and I haven't had problems. No breakouts, nothing yet. And I've been using it for several weeks now. Let's talk about foundation. Okay, this year, my absolute favorite everyday go-to foundation was the Makeup Forever Ultra HD. Now, this is perfect. It is the perfect look on the skin. It's very luminescent, and you can build it up to give further thickness or less transparency on the skin, and I love that about it. I use the color 118 Y325 or Y325, and I love this. I get so many compliments when I have this on my skin. It looks beautiful. It looks, without being really necessarily dewy, but it gives you a kind of a glow without being like matte. It's not a matte foundation. Now, they did just come out with the sticks, and everybody's raving about them, so I'm gonna go buy those and review them for you. They're the little stick foundation that you can just put on and then use it with a beauty blender or a brush, so I'll get those too and try those soon. Next, we're gonna talk about concealer and contour, because this kind of encompasses it all. This was my go-to, #1, absolute favorite. Ran out of the lightest color in this almost, well, too soon. So then I had to get another one, a whole nother palette, but it was all I was after was the lighter color. So Coverfx, this is to you guys. Please, whatever you do, come out with the little pans, because I really like this concealer, and you don't sell this concealer just by itself, but I wish you did. And I'm sure you guys don't really classify it as a concealer, you classify it as a highlighter, but I use it as a concealer, and I love it. Hands down, it's creamy, it covers, it stays on, it doesn't crease, and it doesn't dry your eye out. All in one, it's just, hands down, it's my absolute favorite. So Coverfx, please do me a favor, and probably everyone else who falls in love with your palette here, your contour kit. Go ahead and make these individual so we can, you know, if we use them more, some people may use this lighter color a whole lot more and run out of it. Rather than having to pay the whopping, what is it, 50 some odd bucks to buy a new one, I would love you to just come out with individual ones. Okay, so now that I'm done with that rant, as far as concealer goes, this is great. I mean, you literally can use this every day. It's such a nice, it's such a nice concealer. It's super creamy. I'll show you here. I mean, it just glides on. You can see it just glides on my skin. I mean, it could not be any more perfect than that. It doesn't crease, it doesn't, you can build up, you can make it as thick as you want. It is also great for highlighting, so when you do the highlighting portions like down your nose and above your lip, it's great. And then I love this dark color. That's my go-to as far as contouring and making the deep cuts. I really like the darkest one. I don't contour I do not contour every day, so I find it hard because I'm in love with that lightest color, but they don't sell it like that. So I guess I'm gonna have to try other concealers as well to see. I don't really have any other favorite concealers than that because that was my bae this whole year. I did also try the NYX concealer, but I was not a fan. So next is the Laura Mercier. This has been around for years. I used this years ago. My mother was an esthetician, so she had me use this because this was a product that was referred to her way back when Laura Mercier first came out. And I'm aging myself here because that was like when I was in later high school years. So I think she's reformulated over the years because I didn't like it so much when I was in my late teens, early 20s. But I retried it, and maybe it's also too because I just use it underneath my eye and then I use it to help cut a contour if I'm gonna do my contour. I absolutely love it. It's the translucent powder, it's no color, and I don't know, I just love it. If you're oily, because I've used this on clients that have very oily skin, you are going to love this. If you are super dry, I would just recommend using it like I do underneath your eyes to set, and then maybe underneath here to kind of give that nice cut if you're going to cut a contour. And that's if you're going to go for more of a dramatic look. Everyday look, this is great, especially for oily people to put on. Favorite bronzer for 2015 was the Lorac. It's kind of hard to see it because of the ring light, and then I've got a light over there and a light over there, so it's crazy. But it's the Lorac Tantalizer. And I liked this initially because it had the bronzer and the highlight. However, as 2015 went along and I started getting more into highlighting and deeper contouring, this became less of my favorite. I still liked this side, but not so much this side because it really wasn't that awesome of a highlighter, but the bronzer is beautiful. So I'm gonna have to definitely try some of the other Lorac bronzers because they're beautiful. And blushes, so I'll be honest with you guys, I don't use blush all the time. Especially if it's just, you know, if I'm in my mommy everyday kind of just a light makeup look, because this is not my everyday look, but it is sure fun to do it and really fun to do it to show you guys different looks. But as far as blush goes, this is something I found at Fred Meyer, which is also known as Kroger in other states. It is a grocery chain here in the Pacific Northwest, and they have a line called Milani that's carried there. I know it's carried other places. I have not been able to find anywhere else except for Fred Meyer, but this is their blush rose, and this one's called Romantic Rose. It's a great kind of mauve color, and it gives me just enough color without being overwhelming, because I just think that blush on me, when I have a heavy eye and heavy foundation and a lip, I feel like, I don't know, Mimi from Drew Carey Show. So I'm not a huge fan. If somebody wants to send me some blushes, just saying, go ahead, because I'll try them out and definitely give a review for them. So the Too Faced chocolate bar is probably most definitely one of my most favorite of all times. It has so many beautiful colors, and it's really just, I mean, could you say anything else about any of these colors? You have everything from a purple and pinks to a dark cherry color to all these warm, beautiful browns, and then kind of a khaki color here. Also, one of the other more favorite things about this palette is what it smells like. It smells like chocolate. Shh. No, really, it smells like chocolate. It smells so good. Okay, so that's the Too Faced chocolate bar, and it's heavenly. I'm excited to get the new one that just came out, the bonbons, as well as the milk chocolate, because they are all uniquely beautiful. Palettes are great because when I travel or I go somewhere, it's nice to have a palette and have multiple different colors to be able to use throughout my trip without just, you know, staying with 3 colors. When I was traveled as a flight attendant, I would take my 3 favorite eyeshadows and then just work with those for a 4-day trip. But I'm glad that I don't have to do that anymore, finding a lot of my favorite palettes. Next favorite palette is the Urban Decay, and this is the Naked palette in number 3. So I chose number 3 over all the others, and the others are beautiful too, but I really like the rose gold colors in it. As you can see, it's definitely gotten a lot of use. One of my favorite colors, because I think the name is really cute, is Nooner. I absolutely love it. It's this really pretty mauve-y, kind of grayish. I mean, really, how do you explain this color other than just awesomeness? Pure awesomeness. And you can build it up. It blends really easy. I also like layer. I think this color is really pretty. It's more metallic-y, so it's great to layer over top of the Nooner or alone without the Nooner, but if you really want it deep. And another really pretty color is Trick. This is one of my favorites. I mean, I use this palette probably every day for like 3 months straight. So yeah, I mean, just hands down, great palette. And this is my second one. So what does that tell you? Well, the first one I'd used a lot, but I also dropped it, and so it burst, and that was a sad story. These again are not inexpensive, so it's an investment, but I mean, look at how many colors you get. You can choose different kinds of palettes. They have the Naked 1, 2, and 3, and then they also now have a smoky one that's really pretty as well. Or now that we've talked about eyeshadow, let's talk about my favorite eyeliner of 2015. I've since kind of moved on, not gonna lie. My good old faithful has changed. So for 2015, it was the Smashbox Photo Angle Gel Liner. And I fell in love with this because I got a sample of it, well, one of the little smaller ones in something that I got, and I love it. Let me show you. So this is the end, and it's angled, and the gel pops out at the bottom, or at the top, not the bottom, and it literally just glides on. It is so effortless. It's smooth. It's easy to use. It's really pretty. It stays on. It can create a really good, easy wing effect. I have nothing more than to say than as for mascara. This was something that I found more towards the latter part of the year, but I have to say, hands down, the best expensive mascara I've ever used. And I think Lancome makes amazing mascaras. I've probably was introduced to Lancome as one of my first mascaras that was a not drugstore brand back when I was in high school, because my mom would get the, you know, gift with purchase, and it would come with the Defenicils and little white, and I'm trying to blank of it, and I work for Lancome, so I should totally know this. The Sills booster. So I would get that in the little gift set, and she'd give it to me because she'd buy the full-size ones, but it was great, and so I loved those. But they recently came out with a new mascara that I just, for one, I think this packaging is so beautiful. It's got a little black rose at the top, and it's a pretty piece to put on top of your vanity. And it's called the Grandiose. It's not a brand new product this year, but it's brand new to me. I love the brush on this. It is so unique. It really, because of the arch like that, it allows you to get really close to the lashes and pull them up. And I love this for my natural lashes because it makes them super thick, super lifted, without me having to build it up with like a Sills booster or some other type of booster that just makes them sometimes look a little more like spider legs, as they say. I don't like that look, but this, I can build it up to get that really thick, voluminous, and really grandiose look. Now, highlighters, I wanted to talk about after all this stuff, because generally how I put them on is more towards the end, unless if I mix them with my foundation. These two by Becca, which I am hands down obsessed with Becca this year. Last year anyway. We'll see about 2016. But Becca comes out with these shimmering highlighters, and I love to put them inside my foundation for a really dewy, luminous look. And my two favorites are Moonstone and Opal for two different reasons. Opal's a little more, well, let's just show you. Opal versus Moonstone. So this one is Opal here, and this one is Moonstone. Moonstone is a lot lighter, and Opal has more of a rosy gold kind of color to it. So two different looks, and they're both really beautiful. The Moonstone, I find, really stands out on my skin, but I think it's just different for each person. Another favorite highlighter of mine is the Becca by Jaclyn Hill, and it's the Champagne Pop, which was her color that she came out with, the Pearl, and the Blush Copper. They do now carry all three of these separately, so you don't have to get this, which was very exclusive. And I know that I'm going to be buying the full-size ones because really my favorite colors out of this that I use a lot is the Pearl and the Champagne Pop. I like the two mixed together, but even more so, I really like the Pearl. So that's it for highlighters. Let's move on to lips. And I didn't want to talk about this in my cleansing routine because I just do this all the time. I really do, especially in the winter months, and I love them. This is Glam Glow's Little Duo. It's their lip. They have it's Pout Mud. They have Wet Lip, which is this one, and this is just the moisturizer, which is amazing on its own. It smells, oh, it's minty. It smells so good. And it's really not that expensive. I think for the two, it's like 30 bucks. And of course, I live close enough to Portland, Oregon, so I just hop across the bridge and I don't pay taxes. And then the other one is the Fizzy Lip. And this also smells really minty. It's like an exfoliator. It's super great. It really sloughs off the dead skin. This time of year during the winter, I get really, really dry lips. I tend to go more towards glosses and chapsticks this time of year because of my lips getting dry, especially staying away from the awesome liquid lipsticks that are out because I do get so dry. But this helps, so if I do want to wear a liquid lipstick during a special event, I can, and then I'll use this to really help slough any dry skin off my lips. They are not a necessity in my eyes. I think that you can get the same type of feeling on the lips with other products as well, like sugar and olive oil on your lips to slough off the dead skin. And then also the olive oil is moisturizing. So it just depends. I like these because I think, for one, they're so cute. They're little silver balls, and I like the way they smell. I like that minty smell, and it's easier than having to make my own. But if you don't want to spend the money on something like this, you can make it at home. Now, Anastasia Beverly Hills has hands down my favorite eyebrow pencil, and I'm really excited to try her new angled pencil because it's meant more for eyebrows like mine that are naturally, I mean, my eyebrows are really thick already. So anyway, she is known for her eyebrows, and I'm actually just ran out of her eyebrow pencil, but I use it in caramel and I love it. And why caramel? Because I've tried the light brown, and I've tried the dark blonde, and I've tried the taupe, and those all don't work. So caramel just for some reason works on my eyebrows, but I go through it so fast if I use it. So I think the angled one is going to be a lot better. I do also like her dip brow, but it's, if I'm going to do like really serious brows, I'm obviously not going to do this drastic of eye makeup if I do eyebrows like that. So Anastasia, on a side note, Anastasia came out with her liquid lipsticks. And my two favorite colors this year were Pure Hollywood, because it's a very nudie, I don't know, I just think the nude is an incredible color. It's so pretty. It's so pretty on. and then her Veronica. So these two were my favorite and the only two I currently own. So I will probably buy more because I do love these so much, but they're, you know, 20 some bucks, and then with tax and all that, if I don't go across the bridge to Oregon, they're a little more expensive. And I've had to order these ones online because no one here in the Vancouver, Washington area carries them in store. So hopefully the Macy's will start carrying them here locally. Someone's messaging me. And then towards the end of the year, I forget whose video I saw this on, a tutorial, and she used it, and I really liked it. And they're the Too Faced melted lipsticks, and they are their liquefied long wear lipstick. They are not drying, they're super moisturizing, and these colors are the only ones I own, but my absolute favorite. And my number one favorite was Chihuahua. I did this in my olive green eye tutorial and everyone fell in love with it. I think a couple of you went and got it and even messaged me on Instagram. So thank you so much. I'm glad you guys liked it. This one is the Melted Berry. This is probably the prettiest red I've ever found because it's like such a neat red color. I mean, it's a berry. It really is melted berry. That's exactly what it is. But it turns out more of a red on me, and like the perfect red. And then I also really like Melted Nude. But this can, if you're not careful, be very... I have to line my lips with it, and I use the MAC lip liner. And I'm drawing a blank on the name, but I use a lip liner with it. And something that's a little bit darker of a nude. And then this is Chihuahua. So I have this year been really into like this kind of red, mauve-y, deep toned brownie color. And that's the Veronica. Or no, that's the Veronica. So that's a little bit darker. And then, you know, the Chihuahua is just kind of a shade a little bit lighter than the Veronica. And then the Melted Berry, because it's just, red is such a beautiful color, and especially during the holiday season. Now, last but not least, I know a lot of people have said they don't care for these, but I think for those of you who want to spend not a lot of money and get a pretty good quality product as far as liquid lipsticks go, I didn't care for the NYX. I did try the NYX. I heard a lot of people rave about it. I personally didn't like it, but I liked the Colourpop. And I think I bought almost every color in the Colourpop. This one is Trap by Colourpop, and look at that color. I think it is just so beautiful. It's unlike any of the other colors that I have on my hand, although close enough. As you can see, I'm kind of in a color scheme here. So because they were so cheap and they're like 5 for $30, I just really could not say no to these. So I think I purchased every color. I've tried a lot of them. Definitely my favorite is the first one I showed you. And then I like a lot of these. I mean, they're just fun. They're not going to be super long wearing like the Anastasia. I do also have the Kat Von D liquid lipsticks, and I like those as well, but they're just not like my standout favorites like these ones that I've showed you. For 2015, those were the favorite ones that I've had. So there's those. And as far as face like brushes, people say, what are your favorite brushes? What do you love? I'm not gonna lie. I have brushes ranging from Lancome, which is much more expensive, Bobbi Brown, down to drugstore brushes. And Motives. I have Motives brushes. I really think you just have to find what works for you. I think that you can find quality in inexpensive, and you can find trash in very expensive. So those are kind of like the double ends of both things. Just try and see what works for you, because what works for one person may not work for the next. I do want to try Morphe brushes. I've heard they're great for the price point. So far, I'm in love with the 350 palette, so that says a lot about what their products are for the price at $22.99 for that big palette, and I'll show you that in a later video. It's what I have on my eyes. I love it. So I'll have to try those brushes and let you guys know what I think. I've heard that some of the brushes can really fall apart and they're not great, but I found with any brush across the line, expensive or inexpensive, if you don't take good care of them and you don't properly wash them, the hair is going to fall out. So if you're washing them with things like rubbing alcohol or some of those heavy sprays that you find, I find that they can really destroy the brush a lot quicker than just hand washing them with a light soap. Okay, now, this was my revolution in 2015. It's the Beauty Blender. It's disgusting. It's dirty. This one, I just used it today on my face. So I love the Beauty Blender. I have this one, I have a black one, and I have the minis. Now the minis, I could totally do without. I bought them because I thought, oh great, it's gonna be easier to use under here. No, half the time I have nails on, and so I end up poking my eyeball with those, and I just don't feel like I can really get in there like I can with the bigger one, and I just use the tip of it. I've tried other sponges, and I used other sponges before I started using the Beauty Blender, and I've tried a lot of the hacks. People say, oh, this one works just as good or this one works better. Hands down, this is the best sponge on the market. I'm even gonna go buy the body one because we're coming up on spring pretty soon, sort of. Okay, well, I just feel really white, so I wanna start putting on some bronzer, self-tanner, and I wanna use the body one because I've heard it's absolutely incredible to put self-tanner on. So I'm gonna give that a try, and I'll let you guys know too. But Beauty Blender is worth the investment. Buy one, it'll last you forever. Take good care of it. You can wash it with either baby soap or the wash that they have, or like a Dove soap, so something that's a nice, soft soap that you can purchase at the store. I mean, really, if you just take good care of it, don't be putting your fingers into it, and it'll last you a really long time. So yeah, anyway, I want to talk about hair and what I do to take care of the blonde hair, because when you go blonde, you will find that you can go brassy, and I don't want to go brassy, but I also don't want to go like silver or gray. So the Unite Blonda shampoo and conditioner is what I use on this mane. I was referred to use it by my stylist, and I absolutely love it. If you've used a purple shampoo, I guarantee you've not used a purple shampoo like this first, and I literally use it for like 60 seconds, and then I put this on afterwards. It seals in that what you have done to your hair with the Blonda. If you want more silver hair, which is trending right now, silver or kind of lighter blonde hair, you're going to want to leave the shampoo on for about 3 minutes, and it's amazing what it does. I've seen what it's done to a couple of the girls at the salon on their hair that wanted that more purpley lavender color, and these are amazing. Hands down, you won't find anything like it. So if you can find a salon in your area that carries it, or possibly buy it online, you won't regret it. Now, also something that changed the game for me as far as hair goes is this Unite Texturizer Spray. And what this does is you spray it in your hair, so I'll just demonstrate here. And instead of being a hairspray, so being super sticky or creating a thick funk on the hair, this basically gives it texture. So say I'm going through the day and my hair kind of falls and it gets flat, because, you know, eventually our hair, especially if you live here in the Pacific Northwest, is gonna look more like this, right? So what this spray does is you can just run your hands through your hair and kind of poof it up, and now you have that body back in your hair that just created. I mean, it's, yes, the Unite Texturizer Spray. I'm telling you, you gotta get it. If you don't own it, get it. If you've got long hair, if you need hair that needs more volume, this is it for you right here. All right, guys, so that is it for my 2015 favorites. Thank you so much for tuning into this really long segment. If you lasted this entire time, give yourself a pat on the back, because that's pretty awesome. Anyway, I look forward to sharing many more favorites with you through 2016, and stay tuned for my fitness favorites coming soon. Bye! And I'm going to finally do my first, hi-ya! I'm gonna burst you is what I'm gonna do. Hey guys, Jessica here, and I'm always fucking excited. Hey guys, Jessica here. Okay. Seriously? Seriously. I mean, look at these earrings. Look at them. Kate Spade gumdrop earrings are my favorite. Yeah!